Hello and welcome to the channel. So you may have noticed from previous videos that I've put out that I don't like the screen that's on my Kawasaki Ninja H2 SX SE. It's the Performance Tourer 2023 model, and they put this light tinted, I don't know if it's the race screen or whether it's the touring screen. I think it's probably the performance screen. But I get horrendous buffering in my shoulders, tops of my arms here, and my helmet, when I get to 70 mile an hour, 60, 70, 80, something like that, it's the fastest vibration that I've ever experienced on a bike. They obviously and clearly haven't tested this. I'm an average size guy, I'm 5'8", just over, and they clearly haven't tested it or wind tunneled it with that screen on, because it is horrendous. So I went and I purchased this. So I've purchased the Powerbronze Airflows, I think it's the double bubble screen, the light tint one. I used to have a similar one on my VFR, which was okay. It was a little bit better than the VFR one, not majorly better, but I'm hoping there'll be a great improvement from the rubbish that's on my bike at the minute. So let's have a look what we get in this box. Right, it's very elegant, this. Let's do it on the bin, shall we? Nice big chunky box, loads of bubble wrap, also plastic covered, which is great. And there it is. It's got Ninja on the bottom. I never saw that when I was ordering it, but that's pretty cool, eh? So yeah, it's got the normal shape of, you know, the standard one, but it's also got this sort of bubbly effect on here. It's pushed out a bit, and the idea behind that is so the air hits that and it creates a bubble around your head and your shoulders. Clearly it's a specific fit for this bike, because I've got the infrared camera on the front of the bike, but apparently this is using all of the original fixings, and I don't have to mess really. Just take the screws out of the one that's on there, fit this and put the screws back in. So let's give it a go. All right, let's have a crack at taking this off. Now for this you're going to need a number 4 Allen key, hex key, whatever you call them. You can try number 5, but it won't fit. All right, so use a number 4. Now what's strange about these particular screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them, is that they're literally just finger tight, and I think that's because they've got a nylon washer around them, so the nylon washer stops the screw from backing out, but they are very, very loose. So I'm assuming that's how they go back on. There's no instructions in there that I can see. I'll have another route around in the box in a minute, but I think it's just a case of taking these 6 hex nuts out and making sure I don't lose the little washers there, putting the new screen on and putting them back. I might give it all a bit of a cleaning here before I put the new one on. So there's no nuts at the back here holding the screws in. They're sort of fixed to the plastic frame, so there's nothing behind these screws that you have to watch out for that's going to fall out by the looks of it. So it looks like I also have to remove the 2 front screws here, which are a number 5. It's a little bit more awkward than I thought it was going to be, this is. There's also some little like double rubber bungs at the back of this screw here, and the way you can get them out is to use the number 4, you know, hex key that you're using, and just really gently push them through the screen. Really gently. Don't need to push that hard at all. And then it is loose. I have no idea if I push that one through, how am I going to get that back in? Because it's under all the gubbins. let's get these two washers out anyway, or bungs, whatever they're called. Okay, so I've took the 3 bolts out here, 3 bolts out the other side. I took the 2 bolts out of there, which then you can pull the clip forward for the front camera. So the screen's clipped to that, so you can pull it forward. Then I push the grommets out inside, so push them in just a little bit so they're not holding the screen, and then the screen comes out. But I have no idea how I'm going to get the rubber grommets back up through that hole, so watch this space. There you go. That cover just comes off the camera at the front there, and then this should lift out. There you go. So I can put the rubber bungs back in now, ready to accept the screen. In fact, I could probably put the screen on here, couldn't I, and then install the whole lot. So I'll probably do that instead. Right, I think I've figured it. So when you get this cover off the bike, I've pushed all the bungs out, so all the 6 bungs that were in here, I've pushed them all through, and I'm going to install the screen onto this cover and then put this whole lot back on the bike. So that's what I'm going to try anyway. These are the little bungs. Okay, let's see if we can get this on the bike. So I put the screen on the cover, no problem. The bungs are a pain in the butt though. You can't just push the bungs through, you have to go the opposite way and sort of screw them up a little bit until they pop through the screen. So these were quite difficult to do, but they're all on now. And I believe it just goes over here. There we go, that's got in quite nicely. No, I'm not going to tighten that up yet. I want to get these lined up and bolted in as well. I think that's it. All looks pretty good, pretty tight. These are literally, must be serious, I've got my glasses on. These are literally, don't forget, finger tight and maybe just a little bit more, but pretty loose these. You don't want to be tightening them up because they might crack the plastics. So yeah, I'll put the 6 back on. I'll put the cover on here of the camera and pop these 2 back in. And it all looks pretty square. So yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so I think I'm done. It was a little bit more awkward than I thought it was going to be, but it's done now. So the awkwardness is when you take these 3 screws out, when you're trying to get them back in, obviously you need to put the rubber bungs back in the cover behind the screen. They're a bit awkward to get in, but once they're in, you're fine and they go in fine. I didn't expect to take this cover off, but obviously that's had to come off and go back on, but that's gone on all right as well. So the difference between the old screen and the new screen, obviously it's still got the standard profile that goes up there. This is a little bit higher, so hopefully it'll push more air around my shoulders. But then you've got this double bubble bit that should put my head in a bubble of calm. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. But there is one thing I've noticed about this Powerbronze screen. They have cheapened out a little bit, and that is when it comes down to the camera cover at the front, there is a little lip on the old one. So there's a lip here which goes underneath that cover on the camera and sort of hooks in there. It looks like it's not needed though, to be honest, and there is a rubber seal that goes all the way around there inside, so hopefully there won't be any water getting in there, but we'll have to see. So I'm gonna have to take this out and see how it gets on, but there you go, all done. Don't look too bad actually. Well, let's go out for a razz. Right, let's go and give this a test then. So there is a bit of a caveat, whereas today we've got 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts of wind, so proper windy, but I'm expecting that. What I want to do is just feel the shape of the air, because on my old screen it would just ram into my upper chest and helmet almost unbearably. That's how bad it was. So if that screen eliminates that, or helps with eliminating that, then I'll be a happy man. So I'm going to try and get up to speed here and see what it's like on the 60s. So let's give it a go. There's a bit of a gap, so let's find out. Ooh, okay, so it's already above my shoulders. I feel that it's not hitting my shoulders anymore. I'll be honest about this, by the way, I've got no affiliation with these Powerbronze guys. Let's try it. Man. Okay, so that cost me £1.10, if you take my meaning, just to try it out. And there was no, I'm not kidding, there was no wind on my helmet. There was no buffeting around my helmet. All I could feel is the very tops of my shoulders, so I presume that's down to this. I could feel a little bit of draw on the top of my shoulders, but again, no buffeting. Oh, it feels fine. It feels absolutely fine. It's proper windy though. The bike's been blown sideways. Oh man, that's smooth. That is smooth. Ah, oh, it's proper smooth. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not going to say it's perfect, because no screen is, you know, you're out in the wind, aren't you, so you're going to get hit. But man, that is a massive improvement so far that I can see from my the Kawasaki screen that was on. It was awful. I can't stress how bad that screen was. I've never known anything like it on a bike. It was horrendous. This doesn't seem too bad, you know. Yeah, it's gusty as hell today. It's coming from both sides. So where's the air then? Oh, the air's right up there, look. As you would expect, that's the profile, isn't it? So right up here. Yep, straight over my head. So if I was to stand up, oh, it's still not bad. It's pushing it right up here somewhere. Awesome. We're going on a long ride tomorrow. We're going up to Maplethorpe. It's about like a 10-hour round trip. I don't know why we're going. We're doing that. So it'll be a good test for it tomorrow. I think it's going to be a little bit calmer as well, the weather. So a good test tomorrow. But at the minute, it's looking good. Yeah, it's very different. The airflow is very different to the Kawasaki one. Very different. But this bubble here, there's nothing here. Absolutely nothing. But there is here. So my shoulders sort of thing. There's a little bit there. Man, it's so hot today. It's so windy, but so hot. It's 21 degrees riding the bike. And then literally in 7 days it goes from 21 degrees to 11. So next week it's going to drop down to, how does that work? How does it go? 10 degrees lower in the space of a week. That's mental, isn't it? So this is probably going to be the last weekend really we do a long run. I think that's why we wanted to do a 10-hour rounder. because it's probably going to be the last day, isn't it, to do journeys like that, unless you want to brave the weather. Yeah, I'm going to have to take these liners out for the trip tomorrow because I am roasting in here. I put the liners in because it was cold last week, but yeah, they've got to come out again. Still very windy at 70, 60, 70, but yeah, I'm not making it up. It was unbearable with the old screen. You couldn't power through it either. It just got worse the faster you got. So they clearly didn't test that. Like I say, it's bloody windy today. Oh, it's a shame. This 1.5 mile stretch is perfect for testing your bike out usually. Yeah, tomorrow will be the big test, but at the minute I'm saying, you know, coming straight off from the old screen onto this one, at the minute I'm saying this is a lot better. A lot better. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up at the minute for performance. Oh, it's a lot smoother air. It's still a lot of it, but it's a hell of a lot smoother than the old one. That made me jump. I forgot about that corner. Yeah, at the minute the wind's hitting me from the left and the right, just pushing me out. It's a bit of an unfair test today, to be fair. I've already got bugs splattered all over it, which is a shame. There is a bigger one you can get, like a taller one, but I've already seen one of those on one of these bikes and it looks horrendous. So it might do the job, it might not, but yeah, that's a hell of a price to pay to have a bit of wind taken off you, to have it looking like that. So I personally wouldn't go for the larger one. So if this wasn't going to work, if this was only a bit you know, a bit better, then so be it. This is what I was going to keep. So I won't be trying any other screens out. I think if I could achieve the goal, which was to get it just a little bit better than the original screen, you know, the OEM screen, and stop it buffeting in my helmet and on my shoulders, then that's it. I was going to keep it as long as it looked good, obviously. And yeah, I'm going to keep this. It looks very good. I'll put it this way, there's no way I'm putting the old one back on. Here we go. Let's go over there out of the way. Yeah. It's a lot better. Still don't like all this floppiness though. It's a bit naff, isn't it? Let's go have a cup of tea. Not too bad. Look, it's caught every bug in Bridgenorth. Looks pretty good. I like that. I do like that. Let's go get a brew. Right, let's get a move on. Oh, let's get off this dodgy car park. Man, it's so hot. I'll tell you what, at cruising speed like this, that screen is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I was being absolutely hounded before, and straight away you can feel a difference. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's a lot cleaner air, lot cleaner. I think the wind's dropped now as well, so it's a bit better. But yeah, that's so much better. Ah, it's even enjoyable. There's nothing worse than setting yourself up for a corner in Wales, and before you get to the corner you've been absolutely battered by the wind. It's just another factor. It really does wreck your feng shui, but this is pretty clean air. I like it. So I'm going to say it's a big thumbs up from me. I'm going to have a little bimble on home now. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments. So the only thing I've noticed actually, and you know, I didn't pay any attention, I ordered the light tint, which is the one that's on here obviously. It looks pretty clear. It looks like a standard, you know, clear screen. I think the one I took off was darker than that. So I think if I was going to change, the only thing I'd do is I'd get the exact same one, but I'd get the darker tint. So if you are looking to get one of these for this bike, I would advise that you get the darker one. I think that would look a lot better. But I'm quite happy with this one. I'm not going to spend any more money. So this is it for me. There you go. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this vid and vids like this, there's many more on the channel. Please consider subscribing. It really does help me out. I'm trying to get up to that magic number, and give me a little thumbs up, and I will see you in the next vid. Alright, I'll see you soon. Bye, bye.